All right, just a very quick video before I go pick the kids up. So this is a bit of a scan that I had yesterday again, but still relevant for today. I've just tried to refresh it to get. I had the scan for a couple of days. I actually refreshed it to get these last couple of candles. So yeah, I've been looking at this one. What are we? MBA. You can see here they've kind of broken out. They're a materials. I'm guessing they've got some gold. They're very gold structured. They based along here for quite some time, and they have broken out. So they're one that I'm watching. MI6 sounds like a co-op cloak and dagger kind of group, but they're not. They're in a material sector. I'm not sure what they do. They don't seem to be following the gold chart. I've just drawn a bit of a baseline along here. You can see they've bounced along that and they've headed up. What we could do quickly is just draw a... Oh, I've got the wrong one. Oh, there we are. Bit of a fib. Pull a bit of a fib on that. Bend it out a bit. You can see that they have not finished their upward run yet, but if they were to reverse tomorrow, I'd be looking for somewhere around 618 before I thought about entry. However, seeing as this is a fairly decent trend line down the bottom and there are other opportunities, I would be watching this one for a bounce off this trend line. It seems to be respecting that quite well. If that was to come back around this trend line, I'd be looking for a little kick up off that and I'd be in on it. V&M. This one I thought was quite interesting. It has run up. Obviously, must have a bit of gold in there as well. Viridis Mining. Don't know what they do. But besides that, the fact that they're picked up with the precious metals of recent times. I've drawn a bit of a trend line across here, which seems to coincide with the 618. So I'd be looking for that to come down and bounce off this line, because I do feel like gold is going to retreat just slightly. Call me an idiot. That's fine. I just feel like with the state of oil at the moment, I think that's kind of counterproductive to precious metal miners at the moment. I feel like that might come backwards a bit. BRE, Brazilian rare earth. So I have been sort of watching these guys for quite some time. They had a little bit of a false breakout here, and down she went. So I had a bit of a trend line drawn here, but it went through that, kept going down. It's created a bit of this W bottom, and has cleared that previous high, and has had 2 days of coming back, and it has hit the Fibonacci 618. So I'm hoping that that would have. Let's go for a good one. That one. I feel like that might bounce off that, and if we're lucky, it might come up and yeah, maybe it might hit that trend again, but probably not, because that's not a very it's not a very strong trend line. Probably there's where you'd want to draw it, because it touches it 2 times there, and that trend line would be roughly 24 away. But if it pushed through that, I'd be looking. Well, I don't think that trend line's applicable anymore. I would just be running a trailing stop on it until it got up around here. I think I might exit around there. But yeah, rare earths. I think they're probably due for another pickup again, and it looks like they have here. But yeah, moving along. RSG. Yeah, they were in my scan, but they don't really look like much, except for possibly a gold play. It's bottomed here a little bit. Could be on the way up. I wouldn't. It's probably not for me, that one, but someone might like the look of it. This one I quite like the looks of, but they've just undergone a ticker change. So they were BRX, and now they are VAN. So I might have to redo a bit of the. Sorry about the flicking all over the place there. I might have to redo some code. I'm just going to see how this handles the name change for the ticker. But obviously, that's come down over the Iran war, the war on stupidity. It's come down, it's hit a double bottom, and it has poked up past this previous high. And to get back to where it was before the war, it's about a 98% on that. So I don't mind the look of that one. Might throw a couple of grand on it just for shits and giggles, as we say in Australia. So yeah, BRX, which is now VAN. QEM. I've had that drawn in because I found it on this candle. It did go up, but it's obviously dropped again, and it's hit this base, bounced off it, which is kind of what's given me brought my attention to it a bit. QEM, I don't know what they do. It's interesting. They are QEM Limited. Their website is QLD-EM. I could click it, but I'm running short of time. I'm trying to keep this video short. This one. This is I've had this one drawn since about here. I did like the way it was basing, and it was inside this massive range it had been moving in. And then, of course, I'm not in it, of course, but it had a decent jump today, jump yesterday, and then completed today as well. You're looking at around 57% on that one. I'd probably be watching it to come up, bounce off this, but it's not worth getting into now. But if that came back down, I'd look for another bounce off that and maybe head back up to that trend line. But yeah, it's an interesting one because it's not a miner. I'm happy when I see things that aren't miners because the ASX is full of miners. This one was interesting. I didn't mind look at this one again. They're a healthcare one. It's had a significant drop and it's based. Could be a bear flag, and it could just be basing. What I'd look for is probably for it to actually clear this. Is that today's candle? That's yesterday's candle. Yeah, that's yesterday's. Let's have a look and see what it's done today. What is it? 81. 81. Just quick look before we get too far ahead of ourselves. 81. What did they do today? TikTok. Are we last price 17? It's a grey candle. Does that mean it didn't go today? Must be anyway. What are we looking at? Last price. Yeah, last price 1.7 cents, and doesn't look like anything happened today. Back to where we were. I don't remember which one we were on. So yeah, I'll see what comes up at the end of the day. But it obviously hasn't broken that yet. I'll be looking for that to break 2 cents, and then it might be worth having a double. Miners, gold miners. What more is there to say? She's kicked up. I do expect a little bit of a pullback. We'll see how she goes. There's some previous buys I had. I sold out of them a while ago. I can't even remember where I sold out. Didn't do great off them. But yeah, Obviously, I sold it out up. Sorry, I bought up here, and the price is now down here, but I can't remember where I sold out. I had been out of them for a while. They weren't performing for me, so I've dropped them. I'm allocated elsewhere. I do have some spare cash in my Aussie account, and I was planning on getting miners, but it's moved a bit too quick for me at this point in time. Might have missed it, who knows? I'll just save the cash for something else. ORE, they're gold as well. And what I like about this one is it hasn't followed your typical gold chart. She's just trended sideways. So I imagine they don't have much gold, or their gold is not a massive portion of their portfolio, even though they're called Ore Zone Gold. They probably don't have much gold. Let's have a quick look. I'm in a rush, but we'll have a quick look. Operations. Oof, don't even know what that means. West Africa, it's a gold mine. And what's this one say? In Canada. I can't see anywhere what it says is there. It's a gold mine too. So that's interesting. It's they've got two gold mines, yet they have only followed the path of gold to here, really, and then they've held up well compared to the rest. So maybe that's worth having a look at. You might be interested in it. I don't know. ORE, PNR. Oh, they looking pretty decent to me. It's a gold one. They got a nice gap to fill there. Again, they haven't followed gold exactly either, but they have broken out a bit. They have retreated a little. That might be worth. They've got a gap underneath. If they close that gap, then they're definitely worth looking at. I don't know how much gold is within their portfolio, but they are called Pantoro Gold, so maybe they're decent. WAF, what's WAF? West African Resources, another gold one. Looks like it's broken out there. It has also started a retrace a little bit there. So if you were to get that straight, get that 618 kind of brings it around this level. There's a bit of a fair value gap there, so maybe just a bit below that. It might retreat down to here, retrace. I'm going to say retrace instead of retreat. Makes you sound less professional. So yeah, that could come to here somewhere. That's where I'd be looking if I was going to buy it. It'd be around here. Coincides with this previous area where there was a bit of trade, and at this point there was a bit of a fair value gap between these two candles, and it's your 618. So also $3.20 is a nice round number, which is right smack bang in the middle. So yeah, that would be an interesting point. And lastly, the Qs, which I drew this shadow line here to say that that's where the next candle would be created. So now we're looking at around here as the next candle. As you can see, it hasn't really retraced, but it has moved sideways. Now you can say it's a lower low. I had this as a real interesting point down the bottom here. I've had we had a bounce off this bottom interesting point where we had a convergence of this downtrend and this minor support, and that's where it chose to bounce. It leapfrogged over this overhead line of resistance, which had 3 touches, and usually, as they say, usually the 4th touch is got a 50% chance of breaking it. Well, it leaped over that, It's gone to the top. I've measured from the low to the high in this move and found that the 618 is this red line. There is a gap to fill right under it, right there. We've got, of course, that trend line which has jumped, which then becomes a resistance on the other way down. And we've got this long-term that I've had drawn in for a while as well, which comes from the pivot low back here, your COVID pivot low, comes through, touches this high. On the other side of it is the bounce point from this low, which was also an interesting intersection. And it could also become a line of resistance there. So realistically, if this was to come back, I do have some spare cash waiting, and I'm going to pounce on it if it comes down here. I just feel like any move from this, let's put it right there. Any move from this, I feel like is going to get to maybe that gap close, which is roughly around the 618. And if it doesn't, might go a little bit lower. We've got this trend line defending it. We've got this long-term trend line defending it. We've got the gap close defending it. There is a lot there to defend. So I am looking for this triple Q to come back to this point and bounce off. Now, having said that, in the pre-market or the 24-hour market, I'm not sure which one's on at the moment, but I do see it's just slightly up. Look, is it going to come down? I don't know, but I've got the spare cash waiting to pounce on it at this point. I just really think that that's an interesting spot with all those converging. All right, it's time to go pick up the kids. It's actually 12 minutes past picking up kid time. Hope I'm not too late. But, yeah, that's where she is. And the Aussie market will close soon, and I'll have the rest of the candles to look at. Yeah, hope that's okay for you guys. Cheers.